Welcome to Art Talk Tuesday. I'm glad you're all here, tuned in. Please like or share these videos. You can check me out on my YouTube channel, Damon Powell Artist. If you put in Damon Powell Artist, it'll come up. Please subscribe to my channel if you're enjoying these videos. The piece I have for you today is the second piece in the chakra series. This piece is entitled Polarity, the Balancing of Desire. We'll talk about what that really means in a second. As you can see, this piece, like the other one in the series, is 18 inches wide by 24 inches high. As we look into the piece, we begin to see that this is the Sanskrit symbol for the second chakra, or the sacral chakra. It has 6 petals. We noticed we looked at the root chakra before. That lotus symbol had 4 petals. This one has 6 petals, so we're moving up. So now the sacral chakra would be located, I guess you would say about 2 inches below the navel, and about probably an inch or 2 inward from the spine, right there in the sacral area, what we call the sacrum. So a lot of people associate this chakra with sexuality and sensuality, and to a certain degree that is true, but not for the reasons that we think. That is only a minor aspect of what this chakra is really about. It is about polarity, and polarity is the force which binds together and attracts opposing forces, such as the intermingling of yin, what we consider more passive force, and yang, which we consider the more aggressive, active force within the Chinese understanding of the universe. So it's the polarity is the intermingling and the attraction between those two forces. So when we talk about polarity, we're also talking about the whole notion of intermingling and the coalescing of different substances. If we're looking at talking about the chakra, that the root chakra, we're bringing in this higher spiritual energy and congealing it into form, then the sacral chakra could be seen as the balancing force within them. So we've got this higher energy that's coming in, being congealed and slowed down into physical energy, physical matter. So then the sacral chakra is the one that balances those forces between what is the higher nature and what is what we would say, for lack of a better term, physical self, and creates balance between that. But what do we talk about when we look at the idea of desire? Desire is what motivates the balancing of the polaric forces. This is when we talk about sexuality, because sexuality is often about desire. And we know that desires can be positive or negative. You know, no desire, it can be bad, because we may not have any motivation to go forth with life and do the things we need to do, such as when one is depressed, we notice that we lack desire. We lack that joy de vivre, if we would say, the zest for life, the joy of life. But too much desire, or desire untempered, desire unchecked, desire unbalanced, can also create problems, such as in a sexual relationship, when you may desire others who you probably should not or could not have based upon the commitment you've made to a particular individual, or even to desire a certain individual so much that it becomes unhealthy and becomes unbalanced. So polarity is the shifting of these forces of desire to make them or keep them in balance. Just as the body must constantly be shifting and moving itself. Cells are doing different things. Neurons, chemicals are always moving and shifting to create polarity, to keep the body in balance and sustain life. The same thing happens when we're dealing with the sacral chakra. We want to be in balance. We want to balance our desires. Our desire to achieve with our balance, our desire also must be balanced by our desire to be whole and complete persons. We don't want to burn ourselves out. So that's what really this is about. So as I said here, we have the Sanskrit symbol for the sacral chakra. We have the 6-petal lotus, which is symbolic of that. You can see the figure here, his hands, the bottom part of his fingers are pointing directly into the area where the sacral chakra would be. So this is a full lotus meditation pose that the figure is in. And he's got his hands in a mudra, and that mudra is touching down where the sacral chakra would be located. You see, I took some liberties with the shadows here around the figure. A lot of deep shadows in here in the crevices. A lot of deep shadows here in the legs, so we can see where the light is coming. Shadows here, shadows on the outside, so the light, you can see, is kind of coming down this way onto the figure. Eyes closed, full meditation. Also, you see in this pose, it looks like the figure is almost levitating up above the lotus that is pictured beneath here. Once again, obviously the sacral chakra, the color associated with that chakra is orange. And once again, I've used the primary orange here, and then use other shades of that throughout the composition. Once again, we still have the intermingling of the cosmic forces with the physical forces, hence the white and the orange going around here. And I wanted to give this figure a sense of kind of floating above. You used to read those ancient texts about how certain yogis could levitate and perform other miraculous acts as a part of their tradition. And so I wanted to kind of pay homage to that and give that indication here. So it looks like he's just kind of floating up above this lotus. See the eyes closed, deep in meditation, using the mudra and just kind of beginning to levitate. So I wanted to portray that here. You can see with this lotus, got some things going on here. Lots of highlights in terms of keeping the area bright. Orange is a very hard color to work with sometimes because it can thin out a lot. So there's a lot of different little layers in here to kind of reach this this change in tones that we see. I didn't want to go too far and add any black or gray because I didn't want the color to be dull. So I'm basically working with pure color and then white. And so I had to do a lot of layers to kind of get the differentiation that I wanted in this piece. But I think it worked out. And the piece is valued at $1,500. I have prints available starting at $31. Thank you for tuning in. Talk to you next week. Peace.